skills that I didn't have before, and it's pretty fucking cool, honestly.
I know, it's been
I'm
mind
very proud
blowing.
of myself.
I'm really proud of you. You did amazing. I was like, holy shit. I wasn't sure if like you'd also done the replit, but that video was so easy to follow. And I was like, fuck, if he can do it, I can do it. Kind of like,
Yeah.
and yeah. And that's why I was like, even though I'm sure there's lots of things that like, I know a lot of really like established developers that are like, yeah, vibe coding and there's so much crap. And I'm like, well, if you test it and you learn best practices, you can make something that's a lot more robust than if you just, I think there's a lot of, especially because we know a lot of people. We can have all our friends test it. We can have people. Hopefully, you can have the AI itself relook at the code. I mean, there's so much. I just watched the 2 hours of the Replit build-a-thon thing, and really great like tips and things that I've already been doing. But
Cool.
like, yeah, a lot of great additional. And I want to reach out to one of the guys. I don't know if he has time to come and join us on the show because I think it would be great to talk about doing apps as artists, building our site, all the stuff that like before you would need hundreds of thousands of dollars for. Now you can just play around and like, build really cool
Exactly.
stuff. And yeah.
No, and I'm like, I feel like we are really just scratching the surface
Yep.
of the metaverse implications of this. And I was like thinking about earlier today, like remember when POAP dispensers and Decentraland actually has a few like nice little things of their own, but like POAP dispensers, I feel like were the first interactive metaverse thing that I was like, okay, this is really cool because I just got to go up, I just got to interact with it. But then I own something after that interaction. It like goes to my wallet and everything. And Decentraland does that, has done that with a bunch of different things, where they have like wearable dispensers, and they had that claw game that functioned like, in a similar way where you need many working components talking to each other in order to make these things, in order to have a user experience them correctly. So if I'm thinking about like the wearable machines in Decentraland, right? It doesn't look like anything special, but you got to create the 3D image. The 3D image has to host the script that when you interact with it, it talks to the Web3 side of things, and that gets delivered to the person who's interacting with its wallet. And there's a whole series of things that need to happen and communicate with each other just for someone to walk up to the machine and get a POAP. And I'm like, I've always had like so many different ideas, but never the skills to be able to actually build them. And in my head, I'm always like, this isn't that complicated. Like, and it always is, is basically what it comes down to. I'm like, oh shit, the thing that seems really simple in my head is actually really complicated to put together. But now we're getting to the point where there's like software that'll like do it for you. And I credit to you, Fractillions, for putting two of these tools on my map that I spent a couple days playing around with, one the more than the other and everything, but enough to get a sense of like, it was actually like very empowering. I'm like, oh shit, like I think I actually undersold how capable I am to actually create some of these things that I just always assumed I didn't have the skills to do. But fucking A, AI is here to the rescue.
I know, and I want you to show off what you did because, I mean, I'm just here like right now in Lovable,
Yeah, I think so.
and then I was just showing off the little site I did, and I think, I mean, it took maybe an hour, and most of it was because I was watching the video that I'll link for you guys to watch. It's this guy who actually had this kid reach out to him, and basically he taught him in front of 250 people how to use Replit and Lovable, and they built something, which is what I built, and it looks like you did the same thing. Like I was watching the video
Yep.
and building alongside, and this is the site I built for myself because, I mean, I think.
Oh, I want to see yours. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
the reason that like I thought it would be great for this, immersive arts thing is a lot of artists, they have a site or they don't have a site. And this, this is a really easy way to like gather everything in a place where seriously all I had to do was just direct it to my Notion page and a couple other resources that I uploaded to Lovable, and told it a general style. And I'll probably tweak this out a little more, but like it within an hour I had this. And normally back in the day, right? I don't know why it's not showing now. Oh, there it is. Normally that would take so much money, so much time, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So much money, time, and I'm in a situation. I feel like I have a common like problem out here, and I know probably you run into this too, and probably people in the audience, and a lot of people who are like metaverse builders and who have done cool stuff out in Web3.
Oh shit! Hold on, my dog's eating my shoe. Hold on.
Yeah. Get the shoe. Make sure my kids aren't bludgeoning each other outside. I don't hear anything. It's making me nervous.
Sorry about that. I'm glad I caught it. I heard this like crunching, and I always put my shoes away from her, and she's looking at me all guilty now. Like she obviously needs a walk. I'm sure you know how that is. Your dog's usually the one barking, but I was like, no,
Yes.
these are really expensive running shoes. Don't destroy them. But yeah.
My dog is snowed in and annoyed. So, he normally gets out. Yeah, so I was just saying, like, this is my problem, right? And I've been in Web3 for a long ass time now, and I've done a whole lot of things, and not one thing is the same as the other thing, and quantifying them, explaining them, gathering all the links, putting it all in one place that makes it make sense. I'm like, this is where I don't know what I'm doing, and where like you need to, or at least in the past, because I've been down this road a few times, where if I'm talking to a graphic designer, I need to explain to them what I do and what I want and what I want it to look like, and I don't know the answer to any of those questions, like ever. I'm really, really bad at that part of things, and then I'm like, I do all this shit, like I've launched projects, I've launched a company, I like do, the whip is like, who the fuck knows what that is, all this shit, and it did a really good job, and so I'm glad I was like, oh, what are we gonna do this week? And then you had suggested talking about some of the tools that you had suggested for me to use, and I'm like, this is good stuff, because I feel like this is the kind of thing that like levels up everyone's game if you're able to figure out a way to take what you're already doing and let it enhance it in some way that makes sense. And I feel like, again, been trying to come up with a website or a splash page or something that just is better than a link tree for a long time.
Totally.
And I keep fucking coming back to Linktree because I just need a clean way for people to find my links, and it did a great job. Yeah. Show me yours. I see the thing. I noticed it does sort of have like a boilerplate like template that it uses ish, but it's very like modifiable and everything.
Yeah, and I did.
Who cares? I like it.
I did find that they do have templates. I was just using it for the first time. I had no idea, but look, there's a whole template section. So that would have been even. I know. So I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to go back in here and make mine look even cooler. And again, this was me just like following the video. And we'll share that link maybe we'll do in the recap post, and like so you guys can check out the video. But like, yeah, like I just saw this last night. I was like, holy shit, this is so much cooler, because mine is very generic, but then you can take parts. And another thing I wanted to show here, let me actually put this over here. So you can also, you probably saw this, you can also upload images. So what I did, I'm jumping ahead. That's actually for Replit. But you can do it for this too. You can actually when you're building, you can upload images, sketches, and ideas, and just like in Replit. So that makes it so much easier too. It's not just like, look, video edits, whatever you want to share. So right now, I just went with like, can it actually do this? I want to see what it looks like. I didn't go beyond that, but now that I've seen yours, I love a lot of the functionality you did. Mine is really basic, straightforward. I just added the links that I had. Like I have a full portfolio, I call it, but even this, I don't like that much. So that's why it's just like, it just feels like a Notion doc, right? The other one feels more like a page where like you can interact, but basically all I did was give it the link. That's all it need it.
Yeah.
That was fucking
Wow.
mind-blowing. I'm sorry for all the swearing, but I was like the biggest dork. I called my boyfriend like, this is so cool. He's like, oh my God, the nerd is at it again. Like, what is she doing? And then when I did Replit, I was equally as holy shit. Like, but yeah, that's all I did. And just like what you were saying, I wanted something that looked better than just this. That's just, it's okay. It's just basically I just dumped things here to try to remember because I forget I'm sure you are the same. You've done hundreds of events in the web. And yeah, but let's have you screen share what you built because I really love what you did. Henry stops sharing and then you can share yours.
I'm very
proud of it. I was like, holy shit, when you showed it off earlier, I was like, what the hell? He didn't really tell me that he actually watched the video because I always share things with people and 99% don't follow through, but I was so stoked. Wait, send me the link.
Yeah.
I'll give the link and then we can post it in the chat if people want to follow and look at it.
Rizzle.io.
That's it? Simple. Oh, so is that you had that, owned it, and then you pointed it to it?
So yes, I have owned that. I've owned this for years because I need to set up a website for myself and never just got through with it. And I was actually just about to cancel it because I was like, what am I keeping? It's like a vanity license plate or something. It's like, what am I keeping this for if I'm not going to like actually throw a website up on it? And then you put this in my hands. I was like, oh my God, I'm actually going to finally use this website I've been sitting on forever. So yeah, it's just, and so again, like just to back up a little bit. So like I've desperately needed this for like so long. Like it's just a page where people can look at and know what the fuck I've done out here in some easily digestible way, find information out about that, but also what I'm doing out here. And I'm like, at the moment, I'm like, I need people to know that, like, I'm available, right? I have like some time on my hands and there are projects hiring. And I'm like, and that's what the dude was doing in the video that you sent me. He's like, I want, more than resumes, people are using, their own websites as resumes. I was like, dude, yes, that's what I want. Make me look like, not make me look like, really, honestly, take all my shit and represent me properly in my own, in a way that sounds like me, and let people know that I'm open to be hired right now. And it did, and I did the same thing that you did, but with my Twitter. I just copy pasted 10 seconds worth of scrolling Twitter.
That's so smart.
Down.
Oh, I should have done that. I need to do that.
And then the same thing with Farcaster. I just copy pasted. I just held the button down and just went all the way down and just I was like, here's my stuff. Look at this, and it got everything pretty good. And so I was like, list all the projects. So we got the whip, which it by itself prominently featured more than anything else. The Hibachi, some of the different Rizzle Fest, like these are all different things, right? Like this one's a podcast. This is an in real life event. This is a generative 3D NFT drop. This is a brand that is spun off in a completely different direction. This is a community. This is an event.
And I like how he did the little emojis and everything for it. Look at the little; those are cute.
So it did the emojis. I had to spoon feed it the images that I wanted.
Nice.
And the GIFs and stuff. And they came out good. And then I was like, I've also produced all this art. And it was like on the front of a magazine before. How do I like quantify that? And so, he created a separate crypto art page for me. And so again, I just spoon feed it some of this information. It pulled some of it. But I was like, I've created a bunch of stuff on Manifold and on 01, but I've also collected a bunch of stuff. Like, people should be able to find that too. And it came out really good. Oh, this is funny. I like it. It did this. I was like, connect, right? It's got my things. And then down here, it just added this stuff. It's like Grizzle, Web3 founder 2019, building the metaverse, calling out grifters.
I love that.
Like very faintly down here, if you can barely see it, I don't even know why it says it. It's just like no grifting, just vibes, LFG. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave.
I think that's great. That's so you. I mean, that's definitely the gist of when I think of you. It's like, yep. If there's any grifters, watch out, man. He's got the grifter X-ray goggles. This came out way better than mine.
On, 60, so check this out, right? And then I was like, okay. Then I was like pushing it. I was like, all right, let's see what this thing can do. we've had all these guests on the podcast, on the whip over the years. Can you somehow go find, that information and create a list of the guests? That's all I wanted. I was like, just so I can flex on people, right? Just somewhere where everyone who's been on it, I'm sure you're in here somewhere, right?
I saw it, and it's cool how it shows like times how many people. No, I am on there.
Really?
Oh, I saw earlier. There it is. And that's so cool. It shows how many times. Right. That was like, did you add that? Did you add that feature? Okay, that is really cool. Oh my God, this came out really. I love this feature. Sorry.
So this is where it got cool, right? I was like, I want to create, find me all the names of all the guests, and then it didn't do it right at all. It had like some really weird ones on there. I was like, this isn't right. I was like, what's the best way to do this? And it was like, well, you have a YouTube channel, and I can compile them from all the titles of your YouTube links or whatever. And I was like, great. I've spent forever, adding tags and titles and everything to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
How do we do that? And then it told me, it was like, you need to go to YouTube, you need to download the CSV, and they give me the CSV, and then from there, I can pull all the names of all the guests and everything.
Perfect.
And then it started just like suggesting things. It did this by itself. It alphabetized them, and then it was like, and then I asked it. I was like, can you link to the Twitter, each of these people's like Twitter handle with social media? And it did a pretty shitty job of that. And then I was like, oh wait, can you just link to the episode that you pulled their name from in the first place? And it did a really good job. It's like pretty impressive. Now, Matthias C is on Twitter right now telling me he can't find his episodes. This is different Matthias. So Matthias C's episodes are out here. So it's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty fucking good.
So you can go for the first iteration, then you go back and like, hey, add this. That's what I do. I usually you do the first iteration, and then you're like, oh, there's things missing, and then you test it. And the cool thing is, at least with we can talk about when we go to Replit. Oh shit, hold on a second. I was just opened up all the videos. I'm clicking through everything and playing with the site as you're doing. Now I forget what I was going to say. Oh, Replit, it does live testing in the prompt area. Have you seen that in Replit?
Well, I saw it in this one, and so I was like, I had a really difficult time, and I actually blew through. So with just the free credits, it got this skeleton up like pretty well.
See, that's awesome. I paid for everything. I was like, give me everything.
Oh, well, so then I was like, I can't stop now. So I'm like, I'm going to need a month's worth of credits to, finish out the guest list and refine some of the things that I want, because I got it like 65% of the way there with just copy paste, just the lowest effort, attempt. So I was like, all right. And then, so it's like $25 a month, and I blew through an entire month's worth of credits yesterday, like finishing the whole thing. It took me the better part of the day yesterday, and so it's close to being done. There's a little bit of refining to be done now, but I was saying all that to say, while I was working on it, like these thumbnails weren't showing up on mobile, right?
Oh, okay.
So like you want this to work just as well on mobile as it does here, and so I'm like arguing with.
That gets fun. Like, I know. I love doing that. It's like, no, it's still not working. Oh, yes, it is. No, it's not. And then it's like, oh,
yeah, it's still, stop telling me it's working. It's not working, bot. And it's like, I fixed it. And I'm like, no, you didn't. And then I was like, you're using my credits, telling me you're fixing something you didn't fix. Can we fix that? And it's like, no. But anyway, what was I going to say? So I got to the end, used the credits. And so then finally I was like, okay, it couldn't figure it out how to get the thumbnails working on mobile. I was like, you check it. And so it was like, okay. And then it pulled up its own mobile browser, or fake mobile browser or whatever, to test its own work on. And then it kept coming back to me like, it's still off center. It's still not working. Let me try this. And then tried again. And it was actually sending me screenshots of it checking itself and being like, this still isn't right. And it's like arguing with itself. It's like, it must be like something. I was like, this is some like wild, I don't know, dystopian robotic conversation that's going on in front of my eyes right here.
So in the end, did you get it to work on the mobile version?
No, I was burning through my credits, and I was like, all right, I either need to like dump more in or just get it right for now. And so I was like, forget the thumbnails on mobile, just make it work so that if you click on someone's name, it goes to their appropriate episode. And so right now it works. The thumbnails aren't there, but it works well. And I'm like, just blown away, because a few years ago I would have paid a couple $1,000
Yep.
for someone to do a worse job, and I would be very frustrated because I would come away from it being like, what did I do? This person didn't even understand me or what I do, and this website doesn't reflect that. And I just, loaded up the AI, and the AI is just like, I understand you, Rizzle. What?
That's so cool. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Oh wait, I'm in the wrong place. I was trying to go to the Rizzle. I'm like been going on the site, like checking it out. But it's definitely like, again, like I think I spent more money in Replit because I was building 2 things out, and Lovable.
I want to. So that's next. I would love to hear more about your experience with Replit, because I showed you what I goofed around with, but you've been messing with it more than I have.
I mean, only like maybe like an extra few days. Like that's why it's cool, and that's why I just joined the. They're having a hackathon which started today, and I'm joining it so I can learn more. And I already went through the first session. It's all like on their YouTube, and then they're having special Discord sessions too. But the 2 guys hosting it were awesome. Like I forget the name of them, but they were both super insightful, and just like all their tips you can apply to anything you're going to develop, especially again as an artist. I think in Web3, like knowing all these tools, then you could start building really crazy, interactive, artistic, crazy, right? That's kind of why I wanted to bring this here today to all of you guys. And also to show you, if you want to create a gallery web page for your stuff, and like that's kind of where I initially wanted. Like I was just like Rizzle, everything was all over the place, and I have stuff I've done, but I kind of forget about it, and I hate selling myself so much. Like even on LinkedIn, like I'm on there and like I want to share some stuff, but then it's like I just feel like, oh, I don't want to be on. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I just wanted a place where like here's some of the stuff without me having to redo it in like 50 different formats, right? Everyone's like, send me this. It's like, so I just think it's really useful. It's a lot. The thing is, it's super fun too. It's like, like you said, you spent most of the day. I'm like, I spent hours and I didn't realize how long I'd spent. I was having a blast. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's legit. Yeah, it was legit really fun. A really fun process. And part of it's fun because honestly, it was by the end of it, the cool thing that the Lovable one does is it will suggest things that I didn't think of.
Yeah.
As well, which like a graphic designer. So it's like, do you want the little dots at the for example, with the thumbnails? It's like, stuff that you don't think about unless you do it. It's like Async Art's been on there 3 times. Do you want the little dots at the bottom, and then do you want like keyboard interaction so you can like go back and forth, kind of thing? And then I'm like, yes, I want that. And they're like, do you want little copy links next to it, so if people don't want to open it into a new link, they can just copy it and bookmark it for later? I was like, yes, I want
that part
too.
is really cool.
Shit I would never even think of.
Yeah, and it's like building with like an infinitely patient teacher. Obviously, you have to pay the teacher, but you usually have to pay for courses anyway. So, and then you actually get like a semi-functional thing, or fully functional. And yeah, no, I think I was really stoked with what you made. I was like, oh, this is great, because I know people, and I tell them about you, and it's like, Linktree kind of sucks, but this is way better, right? Like, yeah. So.
Oh, and I thought this was cool too. This was like one of my favorite things that it's. Oh, so then I asked it. I was like, the archive you made is really cool. Can you give me some suggestions about things that can be done to enhance it? And that's when it gave me some of the ideas about the thumbnails and everything. But it also was like, how about a feeling lucky tab where
I like that
you got so many episodes, right? And it just it'll just pop up a different one, like Kinshasa. Kinshassa's a legend. Maybe you haven't heard of him, you wouldn't watch it anyway, had you not stumbled upon it randomly. But I don't know, who knows how much people actually use this, but I'm like, this is cool. And like you said, like really fun. I'm like, oh, I've just been dying for an easy way to like showcase some of the stuff that I do for so long. And I felt like I felt like I got a 2 months worth of stuff done yesterday. Just arguing with the AI bot, and it is kind of fun. Sometimes kind of annoying. It's like having like it's like dealing with a real person.
No, it is.
Sometimes you're
It
like,
is. You have to
"Give me
speak
this
to it like a real
simple
person.
thing. Why are you taking so long?" Right. And it just needs more time to think, and it's still working it out. And, all right, do your thing, AI.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, let me. Well, I want you to share your cool Replit game thing, though. You want to share that first?
Okay, I will. Yes, because this is like a good segue, because this is about the jankiest thing you can do with Replit. Is this it?
But it's also a thing a lot of
great.
people are doing, like the whole idea of mini games and like fun interactive. This is immersive arts. It's interactive, fun games are all about, for me, like, and world building are very connected because it's all one big game.
So Replit, for context, basically the one AI bot that we were just talking about is really helpful in building websites. This actually helps build like apps and interactive things, which sounds vague, but it kind of is vague. And so I don't know. The video that Fractillion shared with me that I watched yesterday actually does a really good job of like sort of explaining what the possibilities are here. But for me, I was like, okay, you can make apps, you can make websites, you can make websites that sell hats and accept payments and like, all the stuff. I was like, all right, well, I'm not selling hats. I'm not making a Google Maps app. I'm not, trying to find restaurants, but I am trying to, promote the whip and, our weekly event and get some fun stuff going on in the parcel in there. And I'm like, all right, I wonder what simple game, like, let's just start from scratch. And also I'm like, I already paid for the other one. I'm not going to pay for this one today. See how far I can get with the free version. And then I'll probably end up paying for it tomorrow if it's like really dope. And so, so today is tomorrow, and I probably will end up getting this one next because I think I've ran the course with what I need Lovable for. But I don't know. I might use it to make a whip website too, because there's a need for that. Anyway, so I'm like, make a whip game. Make a game using our logo and make it like really addictive and fun, like Candy Crush. And it gave me something that looked pretty similar to Candy Crush. It had like a leaderboard and like a point scoring thing. And the point scoring thing didn't work, and I couldn't move any of the blocks. And again, I'm like arguing with this bot, and I'm like, the blocks don't move. And then the bot's like, let me fix it. It's like, now the blocks move. Try again. And I'm like, dude, let me fix it. Try again. The blocks don't move. So finally, I was like, forget it. We're not doing Candy Crush. Oh, and then so I don't know if you've played this, if you've heard of this game. My son plays this game called Geometry Dash.
Oh wait, that does sound familiar. I forget what is.
It's been out for a while. It's in the style of Flappy Birds, and there's a handful of games that on their school computers that they can get around the system and play. And so Geometry Dash is one of them.
Yeah, that sounds like one they would get around because it has the word geometry and they think it's educational. Right. That's how we can frame our silly games that kids want to play.
So it's cool. I mean, it's cool enough. Like, imagine, like, it's sort of like Flappy Bird. Imagine you got the whip logo and it's on a terrain and you got to hit space bar and you got to just jump over obstacles. And, you jump over certain things and things happen. And it's just like a little platformer, and it's just a one button. Hit the space bar to not die, right? And so I'm like, make me a game in the style of Geometry Dash, with the whip logo as the character or whatever. Super simple, but I'm taking notes on middle school kids because my son's in middle school, and a lot of the stuff that starts there ends up all over the place. So he was on to like all this meme shit that's really popular now, like the Italian brain rot stuff, 6-7. I don't know if you're familiar with this stuff. It's just like kid culture stuff that like.
Yep, my son talks about
goes
that.
Mainstream quickly,
yeah.
Right? So I'm like, okay, cool. Everyone's playing Geometry Dash. Let's see if I can make a clone of it. Anyway, it was basically like, I can, but you got to pay me. It's more sophisticated. And so I'm like, I'm not paying you. And I was like, give me. It's funny. It's just. me arguing with the bot. I was like, how about you just do the best you can without me paying you, and I'll take like a scaled down version. And it's like, nah, you gotta pay me. I was like, all right. How about you take my logo and you make like just a very simple, fun game that is engaging, and I also don't have to pay you for or go beyond my credits. And it came back with this, and it's honestly, it's nothing remarkable, but considering I played with this for like 30, 40 minutes tops, and 30 of those minutes were spent arguing with it about Candy Crush blocks, it came out like really good. And so, so this is it, and it's just each of these are actually different games with like logo catcher, right? It's you just click on it, right? It goes around the screen.
Like
it gets faster.
It's like back to the 80s for us, right? And Pong,
Right,
and
right,
it's
right.
like nostalgic
Right, so
mini games
that's the
are.
whole thing, right?
See?
You enter your initials, you submit the score, right? It saves it. Who knows where it is? So then I should be like, yo, there's no leaderboard anyway.
Well, then you have to
but so
ask
this
it and give it money. I want a leaderboard. Give me money.
Right. So like Logo Smasher is a different one, right? It just came up with this on its own. Actually, it had a really much worse one. I was like, can you make something better? And then it came up with Logo Smasher. I was like, all right, it's not that bad. But gold logo, you get points. Corrupted one, you lose, and it just pops up, and you just it's like whack-a-mole, virtual whack-a-mole. That was a bad one. I'm gonna die soon.
So you're not supposed to click on the bad ones?
Yeah, you're not supposed to click on the bad ones. So it's what are these games cool? No. Like, are they fun?
I think they're cool as
not
hell.
Really. But you can see where this is going, or I can see where this is going. And if there's anything I learned from growing up with really terrible video games back in the day, is that games don't necessarily have to be super fun or complicated. They just need to be enough to get you in a competition with your friend on the leaderboard or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, it just has to be enough that like, I played it, okay, you played it, oh shit, you beat my score, okay, let me try again. And then like, someone else sees it and you're like, what is that dumb game? I don't want to play that dumb game. And you're like, I just try the dumb game. I bet you can't beat my score. And right, and that's like basically the story of how video games started. And so I'm like, this is very close to that, where I would like to create Web3 experiences that are not like, they are complicated because I've learned how complicated they are just by doing stuff like this, right? Like if you were going to do something like I was saying, like Geometry Dash, right? It'd be cool if you could like pay 1 WIP coin or, pay 10 cents to play, the WIP version of Geometry Dash, and then the leaderboard, winners of the leaderboard at the end of the week, get a share of the prize money or something like that. And it doesn't have to be much, but I'm like, we're lacking in like fun, easy to interact with Web3 things where like, where it's just something cool happens, right? Like, and again, I'm thinking of the metaverse, like, Decentraland. Like, I want to be able to go to, to get Chinese food in Decentraland, and I get like an actual fortune cookie with my meal that like goes right to my wallet, and it's just like a click or like an interaction. It's just like so many of these, like, and I'm pretty confident, and I would love to see what you've built with this stuff and what you've messed with, but this is what this seems really good at, where it's like, okay, I want to do this, but I don't know how to do this. And then it does a pretty good job of either doing it for you, which is another story, it's kind of funny, or telling you how to do it in a way that allows it to execute most of it on its own. And I was trying to get my website hosted yesterday, and I didn't realize it was trying to do it for me. And I kept like manually trying to like go through all this stuff. And then I realized it was just asking me to like click through a couple things and give it a permission, which I'm always wary about, but this wasn't like that big of a deal. And then it just did it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm like actually trying to make my life harder while this bot is trying to make my life easier.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's how. Yeah, no, everything you were saying is very much spot on. But I think like silly mini games are like I could spend hours, and I know other places are doing mini games and little arcades, which is really cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, I can show
But
some of the few
yeah,
things I
show me
did. I
stuff.
love this though. I love that it didn't. You just use the free version for that, so it's fun. Like being able to like especially I'm because I'm doing these workshops and a lot of the stuff they give you credits, but not enough to do anything. But you actually had enough little bit of credits to do something kind of fun and like
Barely.
silly. It no, but it's way better than other other like platforms. They give you enough credits to like barely do one thing, So like,
Right.
but yeah, I mean everything unfortunately costs a little bit of money and but for me, I'm like, well, I know the reality of what this would regularly cost me, like thousands of dollars, and this is $20. So I'm like, screw it, I'm having fun. And I probably spent more money than
Yeah.
I should have. I just looked at my bank account. I'm like, oh shit, I spent that much. Like I keep throwing, like I have so many AI subscriptions. I have an issue and I'm like, I need to cut back. This is insane. I don't have the money to pay like all this hundreds of dollars in subscription fees a
You need
month.
AI to solve your AI
Yeah.
spending
Yeah, and I
problem.
know there's actually apps that do it. I'm like, screw that, me paying someone another subscription to stop my subscriptions. Hell no, I'm gonna build my stopper and yeah. Here, I'll share my screen real quick.
No, it's it's surprising given what it would have cost for me to actually get.
Oh, oh, what happened?
Sorry, I tried to stop screen sharing and I just closed out by mistake.
Oh,
So
yeah. I'm here. Can you hear me?
yeah, no, I was just saying like it costs a little bit of money, but I spent $25. Maybe I'll renew it next month. Maybe I won't, but I have a pretty full-fledged working website that I procrastinated on paying for out of pocket, like a real developer for like half a decade, and now I don't feel too bad about that decision. $25 versus a couple thousand, to make a nice website like that and everything. Sorry to any web developers, but I couldn't have afforded y'all anyway.
Well, and also, I mean, web developers can use these tools to help others build things faster. And, like, it's just another
Right.
tool. Like, everyone always freaks out about new tools. And I know this is an insane tool, but it's like I've taught like digital arts for so long, and everyone would freak out about every new thing. Like, oh my God, it's going to ruin. It's like everything
No,
changes. And I just think it's fun building with these things. Like, the power that
it
I
really
have
is.
just with like AI to help me learn about the back end, to help. Like, I like building and then looking at the code and then like copy and pasting it and be like, can you explain what actually is happening here? So I kind of
Oh, good
like,
for you.
and
That's cool.
yeah. Okay, let's see. Um, so here are some of the ones that I've done in the past. And this one, I don't even know. I did this one a while ago and I have no idea what it, like, I don't even know if that one published, but this is the one that I recently did because I wanted to solve a problem of like whenever I teach in the schools, um, the kids can't download things on their desktop, and how I can build a tool to help teachers be able to use almost like an asset management, but like drag and drop
Okay.
asset management. Oh, this is the wrong one. It's this one right here. I think. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So I can just go to it and show you. So what I wanted to do is like, I wanted to be the teachers can drag all the resources here. It could be GLB, VRM, hype file, any kind of images. And you can actually, before you drag it in, you can already categorize it if you want. You can create a new folder. Like right now, I want to add different functionality to it. But the main thing is you can just drag and drop things in. And then this is in particular for Hyperfy, you can drag and drop things out into the world, which is really cool. So actually, let me see something. Oh, no, it just links to it. It only works specifically for Hyperfy. But what you can do is also just download it directly to your desktop too. So this could be useful for like collab builds across any platform, really. But the cool thing so just like what you did, I started out with like, oh, I actually was building this with the GitHub repo download. And this is because Jin had originally done this with some of those cool those builds he did. I forget what it was, but I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. So I started doing that on GitHub, and I actually did it all. So I had like a prototype. It worked with one image, and I was like, oh my God, this is great, but no teacher is going to do this. They don't have a time, like
Right.
I can talk to them about all these resources, and maybe 1 out of 100 will actually do it. They are a computer science teacher, and they're definitely more knowledgeable, but like I was trying to make something really specific for a specific thing. And so that's why I did this. And again, it's just, and the cool thing is I also said, hey, I want people, like if you click on one of the GLB to preview it. So it added a previewer for me right here. So this is the GLB previewer, which I thought was so cool. Cause I remember a lot of times we have to go to these sites to check them out. I don't know why it's like zooming in way right now. So I would probably have to go back in and be like, hey, why is it zooming in so far? I don't know what the hell but like simple things like that. And this one, maybe, again, this took me about less than an hour to make, and it solved like a real problem for something that I want to do. But I just thought it was really, really fun. And oh, another thing I wanted to show you guys is, okay, so this is for the other one I did. This one cost a little more money, and let me see if I find it. So the whole idea of this, I actually bought a URL for it because I just thought it was fun, and I want to use this as like a learning tool. So I wanted to build a site that captures your dreams. So basically on your phone, I've already tested it, it works. You just open it up, click a button, like in the morning when you wake up, you can just talk into your phone, captures a dream. So you just say you want to capture it. You just click this. I can actually do it right now. I'd be like, hey, what's up? Record my dream. And this is test. So it'll record your dream. And from that dream, you can, it records it on the calendar. So it'll place it. See, there you go. Brief threshold greeting. Look, it actually labels it. You can create a visual for the dream. You can download the dream, and you can make oh wait, it's not showing up properly on here. Let me adjust this so you guys can see this better. You can make a sleep story of your dream, because I have a lot of trouble sleeping. So I'm always trying to think of things that help me sleep. And I thought, hey, a lot of times if I think of a past dream, I'm already going into that dream realm. It's almost like the portal to your dreamscape. And I think thinking of dreams is the direct portal to hopefully get into the dreamscapes faster. So that's where the idea came from. I wanted something to help me sleep. And I've tried for the last, all my life, really, since I was like 10. So forever, different things that haven't worked very well. And I know sleep stories are really popular, but I thought it'd be really cool to be able to create your own sleep story. So the cool thing is it can create a sleep story out of your dream. So you can record your dream, plus it can create a custom sleep story. So you can fall asleep to a version of your dream. So that takes you to the dream realm that you've already been in. And you can download these. You can actually also share them publicly. Like if you want to share them, it has the, wait, hold on a second. Let me actually go to the site so you guys can see it. But where is it? I think it's Somrel. So Som is somnium, sleep, and then recollection kind of thing. So this is my groups, discovery. So, oh wait, sleep stories. Capture home. Oh, so here, look, let's say if I wanted to make a dream private for other public, you can just say, yeah, make it, you can share your dream with others, but it will be anonymous. So then you can go and discover dreams, and then see, it should show up here. There you go.
You created all of this with Replit?
Yep. Isn't it crazy? That's why I wanted to show it, because I think of like cool art projects we can do with this. I mean, we could build all, like not just like building parcels or building experiences, but building like expanded ideas of that, like a lot of people do these interactive like experiences where they go to websites and they go interact with it. It's almost like a mini game within a mini game within a mini game. So this kind of, I'm building this out of a need that I wanted myself, and also out of like I wanted to learn. And I just thought it's really cool how, like just with these simple tools, let me go back to Replit. And it did everything. It does the database management. It creates the database. It creates, and that's, I want to learn more about the backend in general. So this is a really fun way for that. And another thing it does here, um, let me go back, which I thought was really cool. Is it where is it? And I'm showing you guys this just to show you what's possible. Like, let's say you have a dream or anything you want, and you want AI. It generated a image, but it also generates the dream story, and you can choose what type of AI voice you want for it. And it actually did it. The voice, I mean, all the things it did, I was just like, I'm just gonna see if it'll do it, and it just did everything. I was like, what the hell? That is so freaking awesome. Like, okay, I think this one. Here, generate sleep story. So here, look, you can choose the voice, British, and generate a story. There you go. It starts generating a story based on your dream. And you can type in like a general idea for a dream and it'll create a sleep story. Or like, maybe no one's ever heard of sleep stories, but it's a big thing. Like a lot of people use sleep stories to help them sleep, like the Calm app, and there's all these apps that, but I just thought it's much more like fun if it's something you're connected to personally and actually have had a dream about or want to dream about or something like that, right? But another person suggested a great idea. Like, I want to add a vivid dream reminder. Like, a lot of times if you want to have vivid dreams, you're supposed to look at your hands like 10 times a day. So then your dreams you remember, and then you realize you're in a dream, and then you can enter the vivid dream realm. So like how you can use this app to be like, hey, check your hands, a couple times. You can set it how many times you want it to notify you, to remind you. And that's where the app part. So anyway.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you some tech questions if you don't mind, because so I was like watching the video. Let me back up. Did you create this to be an app, a website for use on mobile? Like when you made this, where did you anticipate?
Well, right now
how did you anticipate?
I want it to be an actual app you can download, and that's why I'm doing the Replit IO. It's just for, they're doing iPhone based apps. And so there's another like process you go through with that, but I want to take this idea and do that. But then this is fully functional if you open it up on a browser on your phone.
Okay.
But I'd rather it be an app.
Yeah. So I'm like, and I know there's some gatekeeping involved, and I don't really know like what level it is. Like I have an iPhone. I like the idea of making an app for it. I know you got to get it listed on the App Store.
You got to become a app developer. Like there's certain things you have to jump through, okay. But it's like right now it's the easiest it's ever been ever. Like if you're actually going to do it. And that's why I was telling people, if you have a fun idea, like this is the time, like I've joined it. So then I have the resources of all these, like, the people from Replit, people in the Discord. Sure. Just so then from there, once I know how to do this, then I can, like, if I have a crazy art idea, let's say I'm going to do an NFT drop. Like I want to build a whole site around that NFT drop, and you can make it super custom and crazy and fun, especially if you have experience. And another thing I wanted to show is like, so what I did is like I grabbed first, like you can use images too. So you can just show this exactly what you want. Or if you want things adjusted, you can just capture an image and just upload it directly here and be like, hey, do this, make it look like that. Or so that's another really fun functional.
It was crazy.
Yeah, but I get excited because especially for the art aspect, right? Like how can we build more cool interactive things? Yeah.
Right. Well, and again, like, bringing it back to the metaverse, we're sitting here in Decentraland and everything. And I'm like, I just feel like I feel like AI across the metaverse, like broadly, was like a big missing link in making the metaverse a place where people are interested in coming back to. It allows for not only us to like make cool things, but also like, this is what I wish, and I'm not sure, and maybe this is my thing to like crack on with like Replit once we get off here and I have some time to like tinker around with it and everything. But I'm like, I want AI stuff in the metaverse, in Decentraland. Like I want to bring something in here, and then I want it doing things when I'm not there. Like for example, like
that's what the bot
in Decentraland, right? I want my AI Rizzle to be constantly changing the weather in there, so that like every time I pop in, I don't know what season it's going to be, stuff like that, or like just changing the soundtrack, or changing the lighting, or changing the vibe. Like this is like the part where we can go beyond just like bot randomization and actually have like intelligent things doing stuff for us, based on what else is going on out there. So I don't know. I feel like this is the part where it like really gets weird, and we're like right here at the cusp of it with like these tools, like just scratching the surface.
No, exactly. And that's like, I think it's just a great thing to just pick like some fun thing you've always wanted, try to build it. And then when you start building, like you're saying, it's going to give you suggestions. It's going to do things for you. It's going to help you. And then whenever you're working on a team or a group, you'll be like, you have like so much more power to do. Like the whole idea came around because like, ETH Denver, and Rizzle and I were talking, and I'm like, I want to do the hackathon, or even if not, I want to build things so then I can understand. Like if I go to Camp Biddle dev side, I can understand more of what they're saying. I want to play with Cursor as well. I want to play, all these things. And the only way to get better is just start playing and tinkering. So it's that tinkering culture, like you just have to play in there. Then you're like, holy shit. Like, this is possible. This is crazy.
No, I know. Exactly. This is, how long did it take you to make this? Just out of curiosity.
Maybe like 2 different sessions, couple hours each, but not that long. Like really most of it, like maybe even less, but the main thing was like setting up like, there's a lot of functionality. There's like, it created a database that I can look, it has a database. So I can look at the production database of all of the conversations and sessions. Everything's private. Like I don't want to be able, other people use it. I don't want to read their dreams. I want to be able to, if I can go in, if I need a place, the key thing is like, I want everyone to be able to use it, download things. It's their stuff. They can share it if they want. But I think you want to know, like, if there's any issues and somebody wants something, the fact, like I've said, I've done stuff like this in the past, like, but with the help of so many people. And it's just really cool to see, look, setting up a little calendar, like all of this stuff. Like it basically got it 95% of the way right away.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And like just the fact that, look, it created like you can join groups with friends. You can have the social aspect if you want. You can have things private and public, which is really cool. Like those kind of functionalities just make it really fun to test. And like, look, you can type your dream. You can, I don't know, just, it's always fun to just go in there and see, like, I don't know. I'm just like blown away. And then like with whenever I do builds, like I tend to, what I first did is I went into ChatGPT and I did all the brainstorming in there first. And then I grabbed the prompt from that and brought it directly here. So it just was way more functional. And then, even with the whole build-a-thon going on, all their tips are a lot of the things that I did, and they gave me a lot more ideas of what I can do to make it better. So if you want to build like a crazy cool interactive art thing, like, if a little bit of planning ahead of time goes a huge long ways, right?
Yeah. It's crazy. Let me ask you another, like, just user interface question. So you built this, you want it to be an app. There's some gatekeeping on the App Store. If you're not a dev, like, would you just, is the functionality good enough that like, okay, I'm not a dev, I'm not going to get listed on the App Store, but I still want to use it myself? Like, can you just use it on mobile on your phone?
Yeah.
It's like pretty good.
Yep. No, it's good. It's great. That's where, like, look, you can actually go on your phone right now and go to the somrel.com and test it out. I mean, there's probably some things that I want to adjust for sure. A ton of things. Cause again, I only played with it for but you can open it and start testing it. Look, can you see it? Look, all the navigation bars at the bottom. You can capture your voice. Look, it says allow access to mic. Yeah. And I'm talking into it right now. I just tap on the button again. It captures it. You can look at your calendar and everything's already like, it's not an app, but it's functional on your phone, right? Which is, you were saying you were having to make a few adjustments with Lovable. But like with this one, it did it really well.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, let me look at your site now. I'm going to look at Rizzle.io and see. You're saying some of the functionality is not there, right?
Some of the functionality on mobile isn't there. Like the thumbnails don't pop up.
But it looks cool. It's stacked like beautifully. Like it's really good.
No, I know.
I mean,
I
come
followed
on.
them for a while. There was some stuff that like wasn't quite centered, and so I had to do like a little bit of refining. But other than right, and then I felt like I'm like, all right, do I really need like thumbnails that like have? Because I was like, it was like, do you want thumbnails? And I was like, yes, I want thumbnails. Like, do you want thumbnails with haptic feedback so that it vibrates a little bit when people click on them or whatever? I'm like,
Ooh, that's
course I want
cool.
that.
That's really cool. I
Right,
need to
and
do
then-
that now.
but it couldn't even get the thumbnails right. I'm like, all right, maybe I'm getting greedy with like the haptic feedback.
No, I think you could totally do
Yeah.
it. You just have to pay a little bit because I
Yeah.
mean, it did a ton with
No, I know.
free. I'm really surprised. I mean, I'm clicking on everything and everything is totally usable on my phone right now for your thing. But like,
Yeah,
I think that would be fun.
this wasn't totally free.
Yeah.
It cost up $25, but
Yeah, I did too on Lovable
bad.
too. $25, but I paid like I think I've paid $40, maybe 60 altogether on Replit because I bought the domain because I just wanted it because I'm like I just want to be able to use it. I want this for me. And maybe other people find it useful. I don't know, but like, and I wanted to use it as a test, as a way to learn. To build something, and from the whole planning of it, and then I think it would be fun to have like a live, like actual, let's create a fun, some kind of art tool, or I don't know. That would be really fun. Sorry.
Yep.
But
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I need to book my stuff for ETH Denver, but I'm planning on getting out there. So I'm glad you put this stuff in my hands now because I feel like I need some time to like tinker around with this a little bit more, and I'll have like an even better idea of what I want to pursue with it. But ETH Denver, I think it's coming up at a good time. It'll be fun.
Oh, for sure. And I hope all of you guys like test this stuff out and come up with some fun interactive ideas. I think the next thing we should come up is some kind of crazy scavenger hunt that people have to go through on one of these sites, and at the end they get the NFT thing. That would be fun to make it like an interactive page. And but I don't know, that's where my brain goes, like how do I go beyond the basics and push the boundaries. And
yeah, well, you helped me do it. I now have a website.
Well, thanks to all the people putting out awesome content that allows people like us who are willing to try. And I hope some of you guys here test it out and show off, tag us, show us if you built something. So we'd love to share it and show others what you guys have done. But yeah, I definitely want to keep tinkering and see what else I can do, and start playing with other apps as well. I know there's the new, what's it called? The new Moldbot, which was Cladbot, and all these fun, crazy things that people are doing. So yeah. But yeah, that was
no. Between last week and this week, I showed up with a whole ass website. So we'll see what it comes back.
And some games, dude.
Some time to play around with it. Yeah, I'm messing with it.
I know, and I think we need to come up with a game, and then people can get prizes going on the game. I think we should do that for the next week. I think I'm going to do something fun for everybody and do some giveaways that way. But yeah, hope you guys learned something, and thank you guys for joining us. I can't believe it's been an hour. So that was fast,
this is
dude.
Great. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, I'm going to keep tinkering with it, and I'll see you at the whip, and we'll do it again next week.
Yeah, so hope all you guys can join us. What is it? 3 p.m. EST Thursday.
Yep.
The whip.
3 p.m.
And
Thursday.
Awesome. Well, have a good rest of your day, and thanks for joining us. Cheers. Bye.
Thanks, Reptilians.
Yeah.
Have a good day, everyone. There you go.
It's until 1 o'clock. If you call 2 minutes later, we just ended it. Oh my goodness, you always call at the worst time. I'm like right here. I'm like, oh great. If you call 1 minute, 2 minutes later.